Yeah, the war. You were in the army film unit, was it?
I mean, I went to France in 1939.
In 1939?
Yeah, I was a conscript because of my age, you see.
So you would have been Dunkirk then?
No, we didn't know anything about Dunkirk.
How did you get out?
Wandered around. I was in the artillery, and we were in the north near the Maginot Line, you see, so we didn't know anything about Dunkirk.
Good Lord.
We had some territorial officers who had joined, for sort of have a good time and good fellowship and all this, but they didn't quite know how to handle the war. That was the trouble.
How did you escape?
Thanks to a wonderful sergeant major.
Very often the case.
No, he really was. He was a regular sergeant major. Because I was unbelievable. I mean, it's a story in itself. I had to write it all down for the Imperial War Museum. We actually got out of France 2 days after the armistice. We came across in a coal boat.
From where?
From Cherbourg.
Good Lord. Good heavens. And were you in fact with the D-Day landing, so you were there shortly after?
Oh yeah.
You were at D-Day?
Yeah, on D-Day. With the commandos, of all people.
Good Lord.
No business to be alive. I mean, we lost, we lost a lot of people for a small unit. I mean, the death rate was very high.
And then you witnessed the, because there was no Luftwaffe to speak of, was there? But there was another Air Force, I believe.
Oh, yeah. You can't say that.
Why not?
No, you mustn't. I've been, been told, because I was told at the Imperial War Museum I was going to write it and said, no, you can't say that.
What do you mean you can't?
No, I can't argue. Not only me, I mean, there were three of us, Because there's no proof, you see, that's why, I suppose.
Well, if you destroy all the proof, I suppose no, there isn't. But I mean, funnily enough, Kay was talking about it. Only I spoke to Kay on the phone only a couple of days ago. And she said she mentioned it because she lives up there, and she said they all know about it up here.
I know.
The entire Highland division.
Yeah.
Right.
No, it was a terrible occasion,
Which of course delayed the whole thing.
Yeah, by almost a month. But you see, what really annoys me, Roy Boulting, I worked with a lot, the Boulting brothers, and they did some very, very good films. And they always insisted on doing it properly. I mean, they would say a 12-week schedule, and all, which was unheard of at that time. But Roy Boulting has never, I mean, the BAFTA or anybody else, they've never recognised anything he did. He's never got an award, whereas other people, aren't they wonderful? They get MBE, they get CBE and all that.
PT, that's not worth anything. They're not worth anything, those things.
No,
they're not important.
It's not important, but it just sums up because of some connection, probably because he married a young
Hayley Mills.
Is
it Hayley Mills? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think it's a distinction not to be given.
Well, it is,
but
I mean, all these people who are given sort of awards, and Roy has never been. But to go back, I mean, it was Roy who he was in the army film it, and he was mainly an editor, but from time to time he came out to Normandy, and thank God he did, because Roy was responsible for getting 6 of us into Paris And we were the only British troops in Paris. All the rest were American and Free French. And Roy got us right through Normandy and joined up with Leclerc, which was the French tank division we went in with. And there are pictures of us, 6 of us, at the Arc de Triomphe, and that was the British Army in Paris.
Well, to 6, I can understand the French, but I don't know why the Americans have to be there. Nothing's changed much.
With the army filming, you see, again, the Germans, as you know, had Aeroflex.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, that's what it was designed
400
for.
feet.
Yep.
Proper sound equipment. What we had was a DeVry camera that did 1 minute of daylight loading 35mm film. Wind up with clockwork, you know.
I thought it was an IMO.
No. There was 1 or 2 IMOs, but I mean they relied on the stills camera. I mean I had a Voigtlander Besser.
Oh yeah, I know those. Yeah.
You know, and they relied on capturing things like that were being exported by Germany to South America. That's all where our equipment came from. And eventually they got, what was it, the Vinton Normandy, that had 200 feet of film, but it let the light in, unfortunately.
Well, there was a famous thing of Newman Sinclair was a very good camera up until the war.
Yeah.
And the Admiralty decided that they wanted 300 of them or something. Well, they were making it's a handmade camera.
Yeah.
And they said, well, you know, either you make 300 cameras or we take you over. So then 300 cameras, they would let the light in. Yeah. Not through the lens.
No, exactly. Yeah. It's very sad.